Alright, what we're going to learn about next is word problems using percent. So not tax, tip, or discount, but just regular percent word problems. When we're dealing with these, it's going to be important to remember that a percent is a number divided by 100 because percents are always out of 100. Alright, our percent is part of the whole. The whole is 100. Alright, and our percent, it can be bigger than 100. It could be smaller than 100. It could also be bigger than 100. But we always remember that our percent is out of 100. Alright, the proportion that we're going to use whenever we're dealing with percent word problems is a percent proportion, just like those tax, tip, and discount problems. Alright, on our percent side, the percent is going to be out of 100. So the percent side, the denominator is always 100 because that's what our percents are out of. And now it's going to be part over whole. Okay? Where before it was tax over the original, or tip over original, or discount over original. That's because the tip and the tax, those are a small portion of the whole. We were paying a 20% tip on the original. The tip is part of the whole, but then we were adding it at the end if we wanted the total. Now, for the part whole side, the whole is always in the denominator, so we always got to remember that. Alright, let's look at a problem. The table below represents the results of a survey titled Favorite Pizza Toppings. They tell us that 500 people were surveyed. They ask how many people preferred pepperoni. So we know 500 people were surveyed. So that's going to be on the number side. That's going to be our total, and our part is going to be how many people actually like pepperoni. Okay, so we're going to do pepperoni over total. For our actual proportion, so that's our word ratio. For our proportion, again, we're looking for how many people like pepperoni out of a total of 500 people. For our percent side, we know that 37% of people like pepperoni. So up top for pepperoni on the percent side, we have 37%, and again, it's out of 100%. So I made sure that I wrote my word ratio, my numbers match. I have my number side and my percent side. Go ahead and start solving for X. After solving for X, we should have gotten that X is 185 people. So down here, we can go ahead and list that the number of people that preferred pepperoni was 185, which is 37% of the people surveyed. Alright, so they want you to go ahead and finish the chart by setting up these percent proportions to figure out how many people like cheese. So you'll set up one proportion for just cheese, and then how many people like sausage. Go ahead and hit pause and try those two on your own. When you're done, hit play again to check and see how you did. Alright, for cheese, you should have done cheese over total. We have X over 100. We're looking for how many people out of 500. And then the percent that like cheese was 38% out of 100. When you solved for X, we should have gotten 190 people. So for cheese, we have 190 people. And then next, we needed to set one up for sausage. Sausage out of total. We're looking for how many people like sausage out of 500 people. Our percent side, we have 25% prefer sausage out of 100%. And you should have gotten 125 people. Alright. If you add these up now in the chart, what should it end up equaling? How many total people were surveyed again? 500 people. So you can go ahead and take a minute, add it up, make sure that we get 500 people Actually, I can do it up here. Not sure if you can see my calculator. Burp. So we have 190 plus 185 plus 125, and perfect. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next problem. We're going to use the chart below. So it represents the number of cars sold in January for each brand at a car place. All right, so let's look. So they have a bunch of different cars. They show us that BMW 40, Buick 25, Toyota 35, Honda 50, etc. The question says, what percent of cars sold in January were Kias? All right, and then round to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to highlight that just so I don't forget at the end. We got a round. All right. So they want to know what percent were Kia. So we know we need Kia is my part. So Kia over total. All right. For my number side, we know how many Kias were sold. 20 Kias were sold. All right. The total number of cars sold, to figure that out, we got to add all of these up. So in order to figure that out, we got to do 40 plus 25 plus 35. You can be doing this on your own while I'm doing it too. Plus 50 plus 15 plus 20. All right, we should have gone 185. So 20 Kias were sold out of 185 total cars that were sold. And now we are looking for the percent out of 100. So this time our variable X is on the percent side because we are looking for the percent. What percent? Go ahead and start solving. Hit pause. Go ahead and solve. All right, we should have gotten in our calculators 10.810810 da-da-da-da-da for our percent. Now remember, it said round to the nearest hundredth, so that means we need two numbers after our decimal, so two numbers only. So I'm looking and I'm going to decide if I'm going to stay a 1 right there or if I bump up to a 2. I look behind it to the side. That's a 0. That tells me I'm going to stay a 1. So it's just going to be 10.81 and percent because it was percent. All right, once you feel good, go ahead and start the practice on the back. There's an answer bank below to make sure that you're doing these correctly. All right, when you are done, go ahead and get checked. Good luck.